Hello, my name is Emmett, W0QH. Today I'm going to show you the Radiowavz Cable Installation and Maintenance Kit. It's a pretty handy kit designed specifically to help you prepare and maintain your RF and electrical connections outside. I've been asked many times how often one must replace or do maintenance on your coaxial connectors. The very first thing you need to do is that the very first time that you install your antenna system is to properly prepare it. And then I would recommend every seasonal change. Just go through and do a quick inspection of things like the connector, the hardware, just to make sure that corrosion hasn't started, or make sure that there's no water or moisture that's come into your coaxial cable. The nice thing about the coaxial kit is it has just about everything you need to do basic maintenance on or installation on your coax or electrical connections. Inside the kit, you'll see you have two syringes. One has an electrical thread and joint compound. What this is Penetrox or Nolox. It's basically a natural petroleum-based product with a zinc inside of it, and this basically helps to seal threads and ensure that there's no oxidization happen as it's being exposed to the weather. The other product that's inside the kit is a dielectric filler, which is called Stuff. The neat thing about Stuff is it's basically a silicon Teflon unionizing filler. It prevents moisture infiltration by basically occupying all those open spaces in the connector. And as you can see, even in this connector, there's a considerable open space. You can see the gaps and all that. Well, that never gets filled in, and so as you know, whenever there's an open space, moisture will eventually grow. And the same thing on a regular coaxial connector. You'll see that the connector itself has quite a few different places where it's just open, there's nothing there. It's just open air. And the connector itself, the UHF type connector, has no real gasket, which will prevent the water or moisture from permeating into your connection. So what basically happens is over time, the connection, just by its very nature, will get soaked, and then your coax will get messed up and you'll have to go get it replaced, and it's not very pretty. The other thing that you get in the kit are the basic instructions. A couple cotton pads specifically for cleaning the components on both the coax and the connector on the balun or the other device. An applicator brush. We recommend you use the applicator brush specifically with the electrical joint compound. This will be used to put on the threads. And then we have these modified Q-tips, which allow you to quite easily clean the contacts of the center contacts of the connector. And what we'll do just before we do all of our installations, we'll take this, especially if it's been a used connection, as in it's been outside for a couple weeks. I'll go ahead and use this Q-tip. Now what I won't do is I will not rotate it. You're just going to simply press it in and then pull it back out again. And what you'll do is you'll notice that quite often, especially if it's been there for a while, there'll be some stuff, as in like oxidization, dirt, even some metal flakes from the connector off the coax, or even off the plating on the connector on the balun. And you'll notice that there's a little bit of oxide on there. And what we'll do is we'll just set that to the side. We'll also, just real quickly, once you've done the center pin, go ahead and clean off the threads as best you can. Just kind of scrub it. What you want to do is make sure it's nice and clean, and then you'll discard that piece of coax. Then what you'll do is you'll grab one of it's like a tissue material. The nice thing about this material is it's perfect for cleaning your connector, and it's also excellent for helping to remove oxidization off the connector. Even though many of the products are soldered today, there's still just a little bit of oxidization can build up, and what you'll do is you just want to wipe it off and see you got just a little bit of material that came off right there. And then it doesn't hurt to go ahead and grab another one of the Q-tips, and you see the threads inside the connector. What you'll do is you'll just go ahead and grab the Q-tip and just wipe the inside of the connector. Even though it's a brand new connector, this one isn't brand new, this has been in the field, but you see that? This isn't, that's just from basic use over time, it's oxidization. What the cotton is, it's just abrasive enough to clean off, the material, waxes or whatever. Now you see it's nice and clean now. So now you've got a nice connector. Both connectors are nice and clean. And by the way, once you use the Q-tip once, don't use it again. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get the dielectric compound, the dielectric waterproofing filler. We'll remove the little plug at the end of the... Okay, what you do is you just go ahead and unscrew it or move it, and you'll see there's just a little bit of this white foam. It's called Stuff. And if you have the ability, or you have the type of connector where you can move the head shell back, what you do is you just unscrew it. As you can see, real closely, you can see all that gap. Now what you're going to do is you're going to put a bead, a small bead of this stuff right around the connector itself. Just like that. Should almost look like a donut. And what will happen is when both the connector and the balun or the other connection device come together, it'll cause all that foam to fill up all the individual gaps. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the electrical thread and joint compound, which is either Nulux or Penetrox. I'm going to remove the end cap, and instead of applying it directly to the threads, what I prefer to do, because you don't need to use a lot of this, you just need a dab. A little dab will do you. Remember that? Just a little drop, just like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to apply it to the threads of the connector, just like that. You see how it's created just a simple bead? You don't have to paint it all on all the threads, because what will happen is as the connector itself wipes across the threads, it'll pick up all that compound and create a better seal. And another thing you'll notice on these PL type connectors are these little teeth right here. These little teeth match up to this component right here, and it's always a very good idea to get those teeth locked into place. And so what I'll do is I'll move it. What I'll do is I'll bring things together. Now I'm going to go ahead and start screwing the head shell down, because what I want to do is I want to get all that foam to fill the connectors, all the empty space in the connector. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll rotate the connector just a little bit to see if it's locked in place, which it has. Okay, I've got everything connected. And now what you've done is you've literally created an almost waterproof seal. The last thing that I would recommend you do is go ahead and tape your connection or use some other type of waterproofing material on the outside. The next thing you can do just prior to installation is you'll take your applicator one more time and you'll put another drop or two on the paintbrush or on the applicator brush. There you go, just a drop. You don't have to squeeze it really hard. It comes out pretty quickly. And what you do is if everything's already connected, like the wire and such, I would just go ahead and just apply just brush that stuff on there, just slather it all over the place. And what will happen is this compound will sacrifice itself over time and prevent things like oxidization and rust. Okay, and you'll do the same thing to the other side. You'll apply just a drop, a dab will do you every time. You just put it on the screw, and there you go. And this should be good to last for at least a season, if not more. The nice thing about this is it'll make everything serviceable. You can now, just for your reference, just to show you what happened, I'm going to unscrew this a little bit. Now you're going to see how that foam dielectric literally filled the gaps. See that? Water cannot permeate through there. And then because we put the threading, we put the oxidization on, or the joint compound on the threads, it literally filled things up, so it's not going to leak very easily. Well, that's all for today. I hope you enjoy this product. It's a very useful product. I recommend that you have this with every installation. Definitely keep it with your go bag, because especially in emergency situations, you never know when you're going to need to have good communications, and the one thing that'll fail the quickest will be a wet connector. Have a great day, 73s. This is Emmett Hohensee, W0QH.